I go. Oh, 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 and here I go. Oh, 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 oh.
It's Monday morning down on the lower pasture. About 17 very frigid degrees out here, starting to snow. We're expecting a storm to be coming in maybe tomorrow night. So many of you have asked for an update of the 1,980 some odd trees, the conifers that we planted about, I guess it's been, about 9 months ago. If you look behind me here, you'll see this pasture, it's tens of acres, is where we planted the trees, a mix of Douglas firs and a native pine species that had been wiped out pretty much at the turn of the century. That particular pine was real desirable for the logging industry, and they pretty much decimated it, and it's rare to find. So a lot of landowners like myself are making an effort through the conservatory to try to bring back these native species so that they'll propagate once again. So I am very saddened when I came down here toward the end of the summer to see that we lost a lot of trees. I don't have an exact count, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was between 50 and 75% loss as a direct result of the drought that we had this summer. We had really low snowpacks. How the climate works in this area is we live in the Cascade Mountain Range, and those mountains accumulate snow all winter long, and then they basically time release that during throughout the summer. The word drought in this area hasn't been something that's even been on anyone's lips until as of late last year. Our snowpack last year was right around 10% of what it normally is. Therefore, there was a much less water to come down and through the tributaries and to keep the area as green as it typically is. So that's kind of a quick snapshot of what happened. But let's go take a look and see how they did and what we can expect for next spring. This little Doug fir here was the first tree that we planted, and you can see it's one of the many casualties that didn't make it. No green on it, dry. I don't see a whole lot of hope for little trees like this. It was just too dry, and it was too big of an area. I just didn't have the ability to give them enough water. So as we walk down this row, we can just see tree after tree with no green on it. Dead sticks. Some died earlier than others. Here's a bright spark. Now this is one of the native pines here I was telling you about, and they did really well. They're certainly much more drought resistant than the firs were, and I see many of them have survived. Not all of them. Here's another Doug fir. Let's see if we can even find a Doug fir that survived. There certainly are not many of them. Now over here I see here's another one of the pines that has done really well. Almost doubled in size. And again, this is a good country. Now I think I see oh, here we go. Look at that. There's there's a Doug fir that's doing really well here. Really robust. That one's going to make it no problem. So when we planted last spring, we had several friends come over and helped us, and I thought it might be kind of interesting to see if there's any one particular person that had a better success rate than others, because we started planting, everyone kind of stayed in their own row. This row over here to the north is the one that I planted myself, and I started from the beginning there, and as I hit right here, this is maybe 12 trees, all dead, and this is the first one here that survived. So none of us being professionals, I don't know that I thought I'd be kind of curious to see if any person did better than another or their techniques. There's a little fir that's doing okay, but I just don't see any pattern here. It looks like it's pretty consistent across the whole board. I have a good friend who's a real forester for a local lumber company here. Actually has a degree in forestry and knows a lot about this type of thing. And he said that some of their stands that they planted, they had 50% loss, and that was being put in by professionals. So that's pretty much I'd expect us to have a little bit lower. I thought we might have a little more die-off than that, but I wasn't expecting this much. This ground out here is some of the most difficult ground I've ever walked in. When you step on it, because of the frost heave, you sink down about 2 inches every step. You go down and down. It's really, it's difficult to drive in and just difficult to walk in. So come spring, we'll have a pretty good tally on who survived. The summer's pretty rough on them. The winter can be rough on them too, depending on how much snow we have out here. We haven't had a lot of snow the last couple of years, but my neighbors told me they've seen as much as 10 feet out here. So anything's possible, you never know. So what we do next with this is we'll just continue to keep planting. We'll plant another 1,000 in the spring, and if we get 25% of those that take, you know, that's still half of our planting. We'll just keep doing it and keep doing it until the weather agrees, or we have a success and we reforest this whole large lower pasture down here. It's not going to be something that I'm going to really see the benefits of. These trees can grow in this environment here where it's pretty good for them once they're established, 1 foot a year. So I don't look at it as something that's really going to benefit me, but it'll benefit our family and Jack in the future when he becomes of age. So that's it. That's a quick update, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
I walk alone, I'm everything my ears can hear and my mouth can speak.